You said you almost have an obsession for the business aspect or making things happen. Define that obsession. What is it?
I think the obsession is...
Thank you for jumping on this experimental podcast just to talk through you as a person, as an agent, your business, kind of diving into the why behind what you do. Something that I love to do is connect with other business owners and find out how they do things, how they think through things, and how they operate their business and just the why behind it, because it's so different for everybody. So
absolutely.
That's a big reason why I love doing it. But I think a fun question that I want to start with is, what music are you into nowadays?
Well, probably not what you would expect, or maybe most people wouldn't expect, but I like rap, not like new rap, where it's artists you've never heard of. Like I like The Chronic. That's probably my favorite album. Like when I go to showings, that is Dre and Eminem and Snoop. Like I put it on to like pump me up. And so I also love playing my music really loud. And so over the duration, when I am meeting with buyers every weekend, they get to know if I don't realize, oh, like shit, they're here, right? They hear the bumping, and they're like, Caitlin, like, was that Lil Wayne? Like, yeah. And then I also, on the flip side, I love Frank Sinatra and Nat King Cole and just classic kind of soul music. Yeah. So completely 180.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So what type of, have you seen Snoop or any of those guys?
Oh yeah. Snoop was in town for like a private party. I don't know, like probably 8 years ago. I have a photo of me touching his hand. I was in the front row, and everybody in that building was so high because he and his crew were smoking, for hours. But yeah, he's pretty cool. Yeah.
You grabbed Snoop's
his hand. That's how, oh yeah, saying every word. It was incredible. I have not seen Dre or Eminem in concert or just anywhere. And I'm like, that's my dying wish, Wow. So if you could see anybody right now, who would you see? Dr. Dre. And I would want a studio session with him. You know what I mean? I would just want to be like, oh my God, this is crazy shit. Like, yeah.
So what about Dr. Dre just empowers you?
I just think his story. I think, the ups and downs of his career and the comeback. I love, I'm a comeback kid too. And so I didn't have the exact same story as Dre, but I loved watching it was like a 4 special something. It was maybe HBO or something. And it was with Jimmy Levine. And Jimmy Levine, he's a hit, or he's a star maker. He finds these incredible acts, and he did The Chronic with Dre, and he brought Snoop, and then they brought Eminem, and it was like he did one audition, and then he was like, hey, you're gonna go in the Lion's Den with Dre, and he spit that out in one take. And that's what I love about the story of the album, just like all of those little tiny details and just mad talent that like Eminem has. And like, yeah, he did literally have one shot, and he, spit that and was, then crowned like, Dre's little successor. So I love Jay-Z, love Lil Wayne, love him. Yeah. Beyonce's all right, but she's not that exciting. Taylor Swift, no.
Did you go to the Lil Wayne and Blink-182 concert 2 years ago?
I did not. No. Was it good?
Oh, it was loud. My ears were ringing for days.
Yeah. No, I'm probably partially deaf with how loud I listen to it. My music, really, really loud. That's okay though.
Have you had clients say anything about it?
My clients find it interesting with what I listen to. Very rarely do clients travel in my car with me when we're going from house to house, but sometimes they do. And I always try and put it on kind of something neutral, and they give me, shit. They're like, oh no, I like da-da-da-da-da or whatever, But yeah, it's fun when they also can rap.
Let's hear a verse.
Maybe in a little bit. I'm a little shy right now.
You're a little...
yeah. Or just let me go in my car and then just,
Okay, what song would it be from?
Oh, you mean like if I went to my car right now and and it turned on the car, what song would be on?
If you were to lay a rap verse right now,
Oh God,
what would it be?
nothing but a G thing, baby.
Oh, rap music. That's funny.
Rap music.
We've been editing your videos to Dre all the time, so I had a hunch.
I know your team knows that. Like, yeah, it's Dre. And I've tried different artists, to be instrumental. It just doesn't sound good. But yeah, there's a lot of great rappers that I like. But Dre is pretty, is in his own, and he's a businessman. Beats by Dre. I mean, come on, like that was an incredible piece to continuing his wealth and his empire, and with Apple, shit, I have some in my purse, I give him his gifts. Like, I love supporting him. Yeah. Have you ever seen him?
Dre?
Yeah.
I have not seen Dre, no.
Well, if there's ever an opportunity, you have to like.
Oh, Dre would be awesome.
Yeah, wouldn't he?
Dre would be awesome. Yeah. Eminem is one of my favorites.
Eminem is, he's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 Mile. I still remember watching that when I was growing up. That was an influential movie for us growing up.
Yeah, it was controversial. Like when my mom found out I watched that, and she's like, this is so inappropriate for you and your sister. And we're like, whatever. It was good. It was really good.
I want to hear a little bit more about you and your start here as an agent. How did you, first of all, why did you pick the industry of real estate?
It was all I knew growing up. And I lived in a household where I was a little girl, and I grew up with my father, who we lived in California at the time, and he built master plan communities. He was the vice president of construction. So I would literally on Saturdays go with my dad and go see model homes, go see homes currently being, under construction. And I found it so fascinating. And this is like a 5,000, home master plan community. He's working his butt off, and he taught me work ethic. He taught me, the laws of real estate. Like real estate is not for everybody. I mean, you've got to love the hustle. I mean, agents on average after 2 years, they fizzle out. There's a very large percentage. I don't want to misquote it, but because it's hard, So my dad developed master plan communities. So I learned construction, staging a home, the model homes, how important and critical it is for a builder and developer to sell that community out, because they don't make a dime if a home is done, vacant, staged, and no one's buying it, right? And that became my dad's problem if it was overpriced, and really fun to watch. So my dad got me into real estate, and I started interning when I was 15 for different real estate brokers in their real estate office.
Really quick, let me go back to your dad. What kind of work ethic has your dad really inspired for you to go after?
He's inspired me he believes in me, and I never thought I could be a broker ever, because it was a narrative that I was told often with certain people I worked for. I didn't have the right behavioral profile type, complete bullshit, right? Yeah, I'm great at operations. You would be a horrible salesperson. Really? That's what they tell people, right? I mean, whether or not it was threatening, they were threatened by potentially what I could be. There's enough business. This is what my dad taught me. There's enough business for everyone in this town. And a lot of the top agents will say that as well. My dad taught me to never give up, and this business has really high peaks and just incredible career moments for him. And also when 2008 happened, financial collapse, it was ugly. It was really ugly. And to see my family impacted in a way where he was still working for the developer. My mom was a residential luxury broker. Thankfully I kept my job with the broker. I'm getting off topic, but my dad taught me never to give up, to never let a home intimidate you. It's just a home. So it doesn't matter if it's $10 million or 200,000. You just have to learn and master the features and the details and be able to tell the home story, and the community. It's all about the community. So he's taught me so much. He's my hero. And
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've worked with him over the years, deals here and there. And we have a very exciting one closing in January that will change my entire career. And I'm not privy to speak about it, but I'm grateful for every opportunity my father has given me. But I know that I've also worked for it,
So what keeps you going? What gets you up in the morning, gets you excited about making this industry, this occupation, this business happen?
Well, when I decided to open up shop as the Coakley Group in 2018, I was the single employee, right? So owner, operator, and agent. And so if I don't attack life, where I wake up excited to go to the office meeting or network with these brokers or, I get excited to see my clients at showings, because I work for really cool people and sometimes they're a lot. And also I'm a lot, high maintenance people tend to attract high maintenance people, right? And so I get excited for every aspect of this business because I'm obsessed with it. I really am. So it could be I'm staging a home. I'm helping my stager. She's down somebody in her crew. Absolutely. We have pictures tomorrow morning. Anything to get the job done. And 90% of agents do not have that mentality. And that was what my first boss instilled in me. I'm willing to do anything that I tell you to do, Caitlin. That includes picking up dog shit at a showing before the buyer gets there. It includes picking up the kids at daycare. And I truly, nothing is beneath me. Nothing. I will do anything to sell a home, within reason, but cleaning up stuff, no, that's standard,
You said you almost have an obsession for the business aspect or making things happen. Define that obsession. What is it?
I think the obsession is to be better than yesterday for certain, but I'm a big planner. With yearly, and I like to look back and see, okay, so, we're almost at the end of 2023. Let's take a look back at the numbers. This is all something that's, in my office, private, not done, or it's done with my boss, or my managing broker where they hold me accountable. And, let's talk about the numbers. What did you, how did you show up and where did you fall short? I'm very coachable. If you're not coachable in this business and accountable, it's kind of like I encourage agents, if agents are watching, find someone, a broker who you are going to be accountable to until you can be accountable to yourself. Are you going to go and tour even if it's rainy and you don't really want to go and tour the homes that are on today, even though you should? You need to be doing activities every single day that are that are in the business. It's all about networking. It's all about who you know. Who you go to lunch with tomorrow may lead to your next, buyer referral. You have no idea. And I try to be authentic about where I get my clients. I don't think any of my clients would say she's really salesy. I think it's actually disgusting when I see it. No one likes to be sold to, ever, you can tell. It's like a used car salesman across the room, trying to sell you something that you don't really want. Your job is my job is to, protect them in a purchase where sometimes they can be a little erratic with their money. And I'm protecting them and showing them, cons and pros. And also, can I resell this?
Well, I want to ask, why are you such a big advocate for your clients? Why do you care so much?
So I worked for other brokers for 10 years in operations and worked for some great brokers and also built a team. And I have seen, not only through that experience or those experiences, but through other brokers that are in my office, other offices, there's really bad brokers that do not treat their clients with principles, ethics, telling the truth. A lot of agents just want to sell you the home and get their commission. I could have sold one of my clients a waterfront home 10 times, but I knew it was the wrong home for him. I'm not about closing a deal that's not right for the buyer. Because the worst thing that you could experience as a broker is when the buyer closes and then about 10 days later, you get a call and they have buyer's remorse and regret. And you have to now take that asset and sell it.
Can you recall an experience where you really had to advocate for a client and guard them against making a potentially very bad decision?
It was a very stressful few weeks, and I involved the highest level of masters in this business for waterfront, and I needed all of the ammo I could for me to present my client. My clients are brilliant. They're smart. And they also, I'll just say it, they know a little bit more than me with real estate at first, right? Until they realize I'm smart, and that I have their best interests. But I'm not afraid to ask for help with the best of the best in whatever field I may be in. New construction, I'm going to call this person. I'm going to call Terry Foster for waterfront, and I'm going to say, hey, I know you sold this home 8 years ago. My client wants to buy it. I need you to tell me. This is a person who is the most, I love Terry Foster and Moya Skillman and the whole team, but she poured into me for months with waterfront and educating me. It's so layered. But yeah, she was involved in educating me, and so I could educate my client on what a dirty lot it was, on how bad of a purchase it would be, on how there's no ROI, how we're already in the negative when we close because we're on the 520 purchase. If my client wants to buy the home, at the end of the day, he's my boss. My client is my boss. They can say, thank you for all of this. And I present them, they want to write it up. All right, let me see if it makes sense. And it depends on what market. And ultimately, if they want me to write it up, that's my job. And to protect them as much as they can, even if I think they're making a bad decision.
What has made you so much a force in the real estate space to be such this advocate? I can feel the passion from you when you're talking about, the fear of making a bad decision and wanting to present everything. And that's taking obviously the commission check out of your pocket.
Oh yeah.
And so what was there a past experience? So you talked about that you worked with agents and you've seen other brokers or that
there's a lot of, sorry, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That there's been other brokers that you've seen that just did it for the deal and didn't look after their client. How did you, it's almost like there's a caring personality to you that runs really deep. Where did that come from?
Well, when I don't know where it came from, because I think you can be one of two types of agents. And one type is when you give them the keys and you've done your due diligence as a broker. Hey, here are the keys. And you don't have to stay friends with your agents. Some people, I'm not friends with half my clients, but I'm in their inner circle, if that makes sense. But my level of ownership with their home, it goes a lot deeper. Because that's also, we do due diligence, yes, as a buyer. And also, it's my job to find, hey, I saw a lien on the title report that you may have missed. This means X, Y, and Z. Why should you care? It's a huge investment for somebody. It's a lot of money. And it's not about just striving for your business, Dru, for the rest of your life. Of course, that's my goal. I want to earn that, right? I want to earn your referrals. I want you to be talking about this incredible house. I don't want you to be at the housewarming party and you're like, well, shit, we found all this stuff after closing. We couldn't do an inspection. We didn't have time. You always have time to do an inspection, even if it's not a contingency. I'm very protective of my clients because, there's sellers that are, it's just not just brokers that are bad. Sellers sometimes lie. A lot of sellers lie about stuff that's happened in the house and you don't know what you're getting. And so I can't control everything, but I want it to be like a happy moment when you get your keys. Yeah. And then you're in there for a month and 6 months and it's like, hey, this is incredible. And yeah, things are going to happen, and that's home ownership. And you're, but I also am pretty protective of that. I'm going to get you a home warranty. I'm going to get a contractor out. It's on me. I don't want you to worry about it because it's just a different level of service. And that's what I provide. There's just a lot of services that I provide that are just kind of carte blanche, because if you work with me, whether you're buying a $500,000 home, which is a lot of money, or a $10 million home, you should have a different level of service. If you call me at midnight, I will answer the phone. And I very rarely ever tell my client I'm unavailable. And it could be a funeral, and they respect it. And I will, I did, this truly happened in 2019. I had to tell 6 sets of clients, I'm unavailable for 9 days during Christmas. That was really hard for me.
Well, really quick, you made a comment about when you hand the keys over, that should be a happy moment. And I want to take a quick break. Right now we're in a property by Merritt Homes.
Pretty stunning.
And this just went pending yesterday. So someone's getting their keys for this property.
Yeah, probably in time for Thanksgiving.
Well,
right?
So this is your first time seeing this property. I want to hear your thoughts as you walked in and got to see it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Merritt Homes is one of the region's, very reputable, but well-known builders, and just their level of quality. I mean, I wish I could walk you through something I went through yesterday. It's it's night and day. They don't cheap out. So, and I love the high ceilings, the cathedral ceilings. It's just so functional, Great lot, great floor plan. I haven't even been upstairs, but they have all the smart features. A lot of builders do not put in Lutron systems. I don't know if you know what that is, buyers, but you should, because when you're buying a home like this, you should click one button to turn on all the lights, don't you think? When you're at the front door, instead of 48 little, all over the home. So they don't cheap out on their systems, and that's huge. They've got cameras already set in. So your doorbell's ready to go. You've got all of it's a wired, builders like to do this. Wired for a smart home. Okay, great. So that means I've got to do it all. Well, this is a smart home that is fully wired and fully loaded, and it's refreshing.
So tell me what you think the experience is going to be when that family gets to step into this home for the first time.
Well, they get to do a new and I have not sold a Merritt home yet. Okay, it's on my list of builders. I have 12 currently that I check them off when I do sell a Connor home. Yeah, that was a day for me. But there's a walkthrough with, as an orientation, and the whole family gets to go and see it. This is how we do the shades, the electric shades, and it's fun, and it's I think a great opportunity for a builder to show off. This is look at all of the amenities, but these are really big upgrades that you are not going to find in another $3.5 million home down the road by another competing builder. They don't put a Lutron in. It's thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. And, it's a shame. And the buyer is very lucky. Yeah. It's beautiful.
This is a gorgeous, gorgeous home.
Yes, it is.
Excited that we get to take our time and do a little podcast discussion in here. I mean, it's been a blast.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a great setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I loved talking with you about just the passion that you have for looking after your clients, especially on the waterfront. Like you said, those are
waterfronts. Yeah.
I mean, those are massive, massive amounts of money that goes into those properties. And obviously we don't know everybody's financial backgrounds or anything like that, but just, it doesn't matter. It's still a big purchase, and hearing you just about how passionate you are on making sure that it is the right and correct decision for them, or at least getting into, if it doesn't make sense on paper, but maybe finding out why then they will making that decision, so that buyer's remorse never happens, so that everything can be brought to the table.
Well, and with your comment with everything being brought to the table, I mean, my secret skill set, and I say secret because I do it only for my clients that put in the time with me, is I aggressively, and I say aggressively, meaning I'm a savage. I go after off-market properties. So this waterfront client, they saw 5 off-market waterfront opportunities that met their criteria. If they only knew what I did to get those opportunities, it doesn't matter. But it was like a crowning moment when the home that they selected was the last waterfront home that was off market that they saw. I mean, I remember the day they saw it. I remember everything, but it's very special to reveal to a buyer, this will never, ever go on the market. This is the price. And typically it's new construction, or it's a seller in Medina that doesn't want to go on the market. And it can be yours for this price. And it's a club in this town. That's why agent relationships are so important. I was able to talk to other waterfront buyers. They were able to give us an exclusive before the home ever went on the market to see if my clients wanted first go at it. All right, you pay what they're asking for, and then you don't compete. A lot of people in this town have $13 million to spend on waterfront. You know what I mean? So, and it's crazy to say that, but I love finding off market for my clients. Like, it's like a thrill. And I love sending them little, photos, and they're like, "Oh my God, we want to see it right away." And I'm just like, yes. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Do you like crime shows?
No, I don't actually. I don't like crime shows.
What about detective shows? I feel like there's a little detective.
Oh, I'm a detective for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So not crime, no crime.
No crime?
No crime. No, I've never been arrested. Ever? No, well, not for one thing. That's right.
I'm just trying to dig into this detective. It seems like if you were to write a book, you'd write a detective novel.
I would. Or I would pen my real estate book, probably not under my name, because I've got some real good stories. Just with a lot of people that I've worked for. Some of them real high profile, some of them famous. But I have to be out of the business too in order to publish that, right?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming out and talking and discussing and hearing.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yes.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. Hopefully this was really helpful to you in your journey of building a business. If you like what you heard, please click subscribe, because that will help us tremendously when we're producing content of huge value to you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, and I hope that you have an amazing week.